Then we have a standard definition of what is called as Kulturstandards. If you are saying something to be kultur, what the heck kultur is? So every kind of reality, realization, thinking, the values which are happening inside a culture is called as a Kulturstandards. So that way even tribal people will have a standard, city people will have one, town people will have one, village people will have one. So those are called as Kulturstandards. Now whatever research or whatever Aussage you are giving about a culture is based on these standards. So inside the standard itself they'll have conflicting exceptions where one of the person will not obey the standard and say, hey, that guy, he's a kulturlos guy, he won't even listen even if you say he doesn't obey elders, etc. So you are basically judging the people based on their behavior within these standards. We have another model called as Bernd, Muller, Jacquier model. He basically takes these Kulturstandards and gives them different aspects. And based on that, he has tried to furnish a Kultur comparison. First is Soziale Bedeutung. You're basically going to connect the social acceptance of a particular behavior of the person. So what is considered taboo, what is considered normal, those are defined by the Soziale Bedeutung. So if you pee on the street, it's taboo. Whereas in certain African villages or other parts of the world, you can pee wherever you want. So that way, social mean. Gesprächsorganisation. How do you start a conversation? Who begins first? Or how is the part comparison? Like, do the youngers always respect the elder people in giving their communication? So these are basically how communication takes place in a culture. That is the comparison. Then you have Direktheit. So there are a lot of cultures in the world where you don't directly come to the topic, especially East and Middle East. So Japan, Asia, China, India. Whereas in Europa, especially Germany, they are direct. You start a meeting, immediately they'll be talking only about the topic under scrutiny. They don't like to waste time. So that's a Direktheit comparison. Paraverbale Faktoren. So this is basically the Mimik, Gestik, Körpersprache which one uses in a culture. And like I said before, stupid in Indian culture means a different gestique and stupid in European culture means a different gestique. So you can compare two cultures based on that as well. Then Kulturspezifische Werte. So festivals are very important in India. You don't take absent leave or for taking part in the festival. So even you're in a family, they will force you somehow to take part in the festival. Whereas in Germany, it's not that. Somebody doesn't want to attend Christmas, it's fine. They leave. They don't force the person to attend at all. So similarly, cars are very godly in Germany. Whereas in India or even US, for that sake, if it has scratches, then they will say car means scratch is normal and they will get away. So these are basically cultural specific values which can be used for comparison. Then we move on to the final topic. How do you do Interkulturelle Kompetenz beim Sprachlernen? Like, how do you use this to learn the language better? So you have Bedeutungserschließung. So while you are trying to find the meaning of new words, you can always use the interkulturelle competence and then integrate and then combine or connect this intercultural competence with the word, which will help you to remember the word also. For example, uniform. Uniform in India is for schools, whereas in uniform in Germany is for police. So that way it is very seldom that in schools they use the word uniform in Germany. So that way you are now given the information that don't use the word uniform and don't expect the word uniform when you are in schools of Germany. Non-verbale Kommunikation. So just like I said, different gestures, different mimic mean different, and there are always situations where you have to communicate via mimic and gestures in any culture. So make sure that when you are learning the mimic and gestic, you learn it with respect to that culture, and then you use it when you are in the target land. Kulturvergleich. So intercultural competence's main idea is cultural comparison. So language Unterricht is supposed to help you communicate effectively in the target culture. So you have to have exercises where you are comparing a particular way behavior of the target people in the target culture in your book as an exercise, and then to understand the cultural comparison you basically ask V-Fragen. Why is that? How is that? What is that? How is that in India? How is that in Japan? How is that in Cuba, etc.? And then auf jeden Fall always do a internet research to find out the final correct state of the art behavior.
With that, the chapter comes to an end. Please feel free to like, subscribe and comment to the channel. If you have any questions, then contact me via email or put down your comments and I'll be able to reply. Thank you.